Welcome to Post Time. I'm Heather Vitale. On today's show, we've got several special races honoring several special people in our Delaware harness racing community. And we'll wrap up the Harrington Raceway meet by telling you who topped the charts for trainer and driver, plus who was voted the horse of the meet. But first, we've got action to get to. And we're going to kick it all off with the last part of a special memorial race for Alan Cook as these trotters took center stage.
They come toward the top of the stretch and turn for home. Remarkable DeVee takes the lead at the top of the stretch. Back to second. Faithful and True coming through the stretch. It's Remarkable DeVee pulling away. This one's for you, Cookie. They drive over the wire. Remarkable DeVee is in front. Bourbon Express and Monteverdi, 155 and 1.
Remarkable DV, a long shot in the race, owned by TLB Racing, driven by Pat Berry and trained by Tracy Berry, crossed the wire first in 155 and 1 for the Alan Cook Memorial. Alan was an owner, trainer, and driver in our sport, as well as an associate judge and a presiding judge at Harrington Raceway and Dover Downs. He also served on the board of directors for the Delaware State Fair.
Dad loved the people here. He loved the harness racing. He loved the drivers. He loved the trainers. A lot of friends. There were a lot of stories that Dad had. He had a lot of memories about this business.
Another recent race at Harrington honored Wilma Chambers as this Delaware Standardbred Breeders' Fund consolation went behind the gate.
They're at the top of the stretch, turning for home, and Tua looks good from here. Tua with about a 3-length lead. By Special Delivery races in second. That's Blue Water Key out in the center of the track coming toward the wire. Tua is in front. Tua's got it. Then it's By Special Delivery just made a break. And on the outside third, that's Blue Water Key, 202 and 1.
Tua, owned and trained by Brenda Teague, with her nephew Montrell Teague driving, won in 202 and 1. Friends and family gathered in the winner's circle for this memorial event honoring Wilma Chambers, who owned horses for decades and worked alongside her husband Paul in the barn with a very successful stable. She was so loved by so many and was a great friend to the sport.
Wilma and I were in the business a long time, and she was always part of the business. She did all the book work, and everybody loved her. Yeah, everywhere we went with the horse business, she was with us, and wherever we raced, she was there. And loved the sport, loved all the people in the backstretch, and always enjoyed herself. Always had a smile on her face. Never had a bad word to say about anybody. And that sums it up pretty much.
Another memorial race at our half-mile track was for Dr. Ed Connor, as a pacing group of fillies and mares lined up behind the starting gate.
They come toward the top of the stretch, turning for home, and the leader is In the Skyrocket. She's a rocker, pops to the outside. They straighten away. She's a rocker coming on the outside after In the Skyrocket. They come to the wire. She's a rocker on the outside, gets the lead. She's a rocker's in front.
She's a Rocker, owned by Anthony and Michael Hill and trained and driven by Vic Kirby, picked up the win in 154 and 4. This memorial gathering in the winner's circle honored Dr. Ed Connor, a local veterinarian who was known and loved by many in the sport. Not to mention the love he had for our equines and how amazing he was with helping our horses. Also, on one of the final nights of the meet, there was a special memorial race for Boo Myers, featuring a field of maiden pacers over the Harrington half mile.
At the top of the stretch now, turning her home. I'm One Captain Weiser drifts out, has the lead. I'm One Captain Weiser. Here's New Normal coming down the inside, coming toward the wire. I'm One Captain Weiser's in front.
I'm One Captain Weiser, owned by George and Tina Dennis, leads the way around the Harrington Raceway Oval with Mike Cole driving for trainer Joe Colombo to cross the wire first in 158 and 3. In Victory Lane for this memorial, a loving group gathered to celebrate Boo Myers, who grew up in the business working with his father, veteran trainer driver Bob Myers. The young horseman who was taken from us too soon was always smiling. He was a talented trainer, an all-around great guy, and a wonderful asset to our Delaware racing community. And one more special memorial race we'd like to mention on today's show was for J.D. Dennis, as this all-lady group of conditioned pacers gathered behind the gate.
They come toward the top of the stretch now and turn for home, and Rabble's the leader as they come off the turn. Rabble. Down the inside will be Nakasa. They come through the stretch. Rabble's got the lead. Nakasa coming down the inside. They come toward the wire. Here comes Nakasa after Rabble. Rabble digs in. Rabble holds on.
Rabble, owned by Frank Chick, trained by Corey Mumford, and driven by Montrell Teague, crossed the wire first in 1:53.3 to join a large group of family, friends, horsemen, and women honoring the late J.D. Dennis. J.D. was a prominent horseman in Delaware for decades and made an impression at tracks all over the East Coast. He was also one of the most influential people when it came to keeping our great sport alive and well in the first state. JD was always willing to help out a fellow horse person and always had a great story to tell. It's hard to put into words how important this incredible man was to harness racing. JD always went above and beyond, and we will be eternally grateful to him. As I mentioned earlier on today's show, we'll be wrapping up the 2021 season from Harrington Raceway. So this is probably a good time to let you know that this week there is no live harness racing in Delaware. However, Dover Downs will begin their live racing schedule on Monday, November 1st, with a first race post time of 4:30 p.m. That means that on next week's post time, we'll be getting psyched up for that new 2021-2022 Dover Downs meet as we kick off the excitement from the 5/8 mile oval. But if you want more information now, just go to doverdowns.com. Again, that show is still a week away, and we've still got so much more to cover on today's episode. So keep it right here for more Post Time. Welcome back to Post Time. I'm Heather Vitale. Now we're going to check out a special race that took place at Harrington recently that honored a great friend to racing, the Delaware Secretary of Agriculture, Michael Scuse, as these pacing fillies and mares went to post.
They're off. There goes Shotgun Persuasion out for the lead right alongside Sea Princess. And then comes Tay in fourth, racing inside Preeminence as they make their way into the first turn. Shotgun Persuasion's on top. Sea Princess got away second, racing in third is Preeminence. Taking back now is Tay into fourth, racing up fifth. That's In and Out Again, followed by Real Rich. Then is BFF Hunter, My Last Bet. They make their way up the backstretch, and Shotgun Persuasion's got the lead over Sea Princess. Preeminence is third. Getting away fourth, Tay. Opening quarter, 28 3/5. They race into the far turn with Shotgun Persuasion leading by a length and a half. Sea Princess is there, two back to Preeminence. Then comes Tay, followed by In and Out Again. Trailers, Real Rich, BFF Hunter, My Last Bet. Field races by the stands on the way toward the half. Up front, that's Shotgun Persuasion with an easy lead over Sea Princess. Preeminence moves to the outside from third. Toward the inside is Tay. Also coming to the outside, that's In and Out Again. 2 or 3 lanes, Real Rich, followed by BFF Hunter and My Last Bet. 57 4/5 into that first turn the second time. Shotgun Persuasion leads it with Preeminence. Racing up on the outside, Sea Princess toward the rail. Then is Tay. Alongside is In and Out Again as they make their way up the backstretch toward three-quarters. Shotgun Persuasion, a half-length leader. Preeminence is on the outside, getting closer. Sea Princess is third. On the outside, In and Out Again toward the rail. That's Tay. They go by three-quarters in 1:26 2 into the far turn. Shotgun Persuasion, Preeminence, Sea Princess is there. On the outside, in and out again. Down inside is Tay. Then comes BFF Hanover, who swings 3 wide, and they're at the top of the stretch, turning for home, pulling away, Shotgun Persuasion. Sea Princess toward the inside, Preeminence on the outside. They come toward the wire, pulling away, Shotgun Persuasion. Shotgun Persuasion wins easily. Then it's going to be Sea Princess, and Preeminence is going to get third, 154-3.
Shotgun Persuasion went from wire to wire in 154-3 with Vic Kirby in the bike. Owned by Joanne Looney King and trained by her husband, Jim King Jr., the 4-year-old returned to the winner's circle to honor Delaware's Secretary of Agriculture, Michael Scuse, who we got a chance to catch up with and talk to about the importance of the harness racing sport and how much he enjoys it.
Being Secretary of Agriculture, this being my second time, you look at what harness racing does for agriculture in general, what it's done to the state's economy. You know, when you look at the economic analysis and you look at what racing has meant to our overall economy, it's pretty impressive. And then you look at what it's done to protect and preserve some of our farms here in Delaware. You look at the jobs that it's created. So the harness racing has been really, really important to me personally and to the state of Delaware. And this Breeders' Fund program, it's really been a big deal for the horsemen. I mean, you know, to be able to breed and raise horses right here in Delaware, it's just added that much more to the industry. And you look at all of the mares that are being bred here and some of our owners, it's been really big. It really has, and it's been an important part of my life and the state of Delaware. We had friends that were in racing that we followed over the years. Press Burris, who was a great driver in his day and was a very close family friend. So, we followed Press, and then when I got to be Secretary of Agriculture and racing is under me, you really pay attention to what's going on in the industry, the owners, the trainers, the drivers, and again, what it does for the overall economy. And when you look at harness racing here in Delaware, when you look at the people that we have involved in, it's great. I mean, my God, George Teague just elected into the Hall of Fame. We've got the very best here in Delaware, the very best any state has to offer. So we take a great deal of pride in racing and all of those involved in it. It means a lot. It really does to have a race in my honor. It's something that Judy had asked, a while back. How about if we, name a race for you? We get the track to do it. It's really special, and it does mean a lot. Those years of public service, this is one of the rewards for that. I want to say thank you to Governor Minner. Racing was important to Governor Minner. It really was. And again, a shout out to Governor Carney. And not because I've worked for either one of them, but Governor Carney is one of the ones that's behind this Delaware Breeders' Fund. He put a lot of time and effort into that, and racing means an awful lot to him too. So, I had the privilege to work for 2 governors that really and truly were interested in harness racing, and it made it a lot easier to work for them when you know how much interest they have in the racing industry.
Another friend of the standardbred sport is Delaware Harness Racing Commission Chairman Beth Steele. And Harrington also hosted a race recently in her honor with this all-lady event.
They're at the top of the stretch, turning home. Here comes Hey DeBay on the far outside after Sunshine Hall. They drive with the wire. Hey DeBay on the outside gets the lead. Hey DeBay, a late rush for second. Going to be tight for second between Sunshine Hall and Southwind Talisa, I believe, and 157-1.
Hey DeBay, owned by James Magno and BJ Truitt, comes from behind to win in 157-1. In the driver's seat was Vic Kirby for conditioner Brian Truitt. And in victory lane, a presentation blanket honoring Delaware Harness Racing Commission Chairman Beth Steele was given to the winning connections. Thanks to Beth for all she does for the sport. And we've got one more special race to make note of on today's show, and that was for the Delaware Harness Racing Commission. So let's see the winner of this notable fillies and mares event.
3 wide, they straighten away. Down the inside, here comes Western Secret outside, And that's In the Sky Rocket. They drive for the wire. Going to be close. 3 across the track. In the Sky Rocket.
In the Sky Rocket, owned by Michael Casalino Jr. and Dylan Davis, who's also the trainer, wins in 154-1 by a neck with Hall of Famer Tim Tetrick driving. As the 5-year-old Australian native returned to the winner's circle, she was presented a blanket by Mark Davis, the executive director of the Delaware Harness Racing Commission. It's so great to remember and honor so many wonderful people who have impacted our incredible standardbred sport. You may have noticed that last week post time was preempt, so we've had to switch around showing you the recap of the Delaware Standardbred Breeders' Fund $100,000 finals for 2-year-olds. Thanks for your patience on that, and I know some of you have been wondering when you'll see that, and we've got it slated for next week's show, so make sure you tune in. Now that's happening next Sunday, but we've still got more on today's show, including the 2021 leaders from Harrington Raceway, so stick around, we'll be right back. Happy Sunday, everyone! Welcome back to Post Time. It's our recap of the recent Harrington Raceway meet. And on tap first is our leading trainer from the 2021 meet. And that would be Chuck Crissman Jr. taking home the honors for leading conditioner at the Kent County Half Mile Oval for this season. Crissman's stable visited Victory Lane 58 times during the recent meet. And on the final night of the season, the Dover resident joined Assistant General Manager Matt Sparacino in the winner's circle for an interview.
Now we have Chuck Crissman Jr., leading trainer. Chuck, we used to call you Mr. Harrington in the early 2000s. You had a lot of winners over this track. Took a little break from the business. Back as leading trainer now. How does it feel?
It feels awesome, and first thing I'd like to do is thank God, because without him, I couldn't do anything. So I appreciate it.
When you got back into business a few years ago, it all started with one horse. I think it was owner Rodney Long that gave you a horse to train, and it sort of blossomed from there. Now you've got a stable of 40 or more. How did you do it?
Yeah, well, a lot of it was just starting out with Rodney and, doing good, and then the other owners coming in. But I really appreciate the opportunity all the owners gave me, and I'd just like to really thank them all. And, I got a list like David Ham, Glenn Phillips, Eddie Mendez, Mark Salerno, Rich Natoli, and Eon Yoder, and a really big thanks to one of my owners that passed away, Joey Wayhausen.
And when you have a stable like you do, with around 40 horses, how important is it to have balance in that stable and have horses not only, at the top end, but also, in some of the lower classes, and you even have, young horses up and coming so that you don't have too many in the same class, which is hard to do when you've got a big stable.
Yeah, you got to juggle things around and find the right classes for the right horses, and got to ship a few out of state to Yonkers or Chester or Meadowlands, but owners are really, just grateful for the opportunity they gave me to do everything, and it's working out really well.
You were on top standings pretty much the whole meet, and you retained the services of our 2 top drivers along the way, Allan Davis and Montreal Teague. Tell us about your relationship with them.
Well, they're both great drivers. They do a really good job for me. I really like to thank them both. I mean, they're out there every night, and, I can't ask for better more. They're doing really good.
2021 leading trainer, Chuck Crissman. Chuck, best of luck to you the rest of the year and the upcoming Dover meet.
I appreciate it, and I really like to thank all my barn help, too. I couldn't do it without them.
Now, on to the leading driver of the meet, and it was Allan Davis. This is the 3rd time the Smyrna resident has finished up a Harrington meet at the top of the standings. Allan made it to the winner's circle 135 times during the 2021 season at the Kent County Half Mile Track. Let's hear from Allan now as he spoke with Matt Sparacino after getting his award.
We're here with our leading driver, Allan Davis, who wins his back-to-back title here at Harrington. How does it feel?
Oh, it always feels good to win races. That's my job, so it feels good to do that.
Now, of course, you come from a harness racing family. Your dad, Eddie Davis, a driving legend here in the first state, won over 8,000 races. I'm sure that's been a great resource for you over the years.
Oh, for sure. He's taught me a lot over the years, and with all the support that I've had from him over the years, just training horses. Kind of got started driving late, but he was still on top of his game, so I waited it out, and here I am.
Now, recently, of course, during this meet a month or two ago, you got your 3,000th win, which was a wonderful accomplishment. Do you have any goals long-term as far as the win milestones go?
Nah, just keep winning races, and whatever happens, happens. That's the plan.
Now, our leading trainer, Chuck Crissman, you drove a lot for him as well, and other leading trainers like Wayne Gibbons, who had a 5-win night here a few weeks back. How important are guys like that to giving you live horses, and to you ending up right here in the winner's circle?
Oh, that's what it's all about. You gotta have power. If you don't have power, it's no good. So with them guys, I thank them and thank all the great owners I drive for, and hope we keep winning races.
On behalf of all of us here at Harrington Raceway, congratulations, Allan Davis, back-to-back driving titles here. We wish you luck at the Dover meet.
All right, thanks, Matt.
We had some impressive four-legged talent over this Harrington Raceway half-mile oval in 2021. But only one can be voted horse of the meet. Let's congratulate that special equine now.
And he is a very familiar name in Delaware harness racing, and that's Slick Tony. With 7 wins and more than $75,000 earned this meet alone, the 6-year-old became the Delaware Valley chapter of the United States Harness Writers Association's Horse of the Meet for the second time in the last 3 years. As a youngster, he dominated the Delaware Standardbred Breeders' Fund races, then continued to be a major force in open pacing events, racking up over $860,000 in career earnings, and counting. The son of No Spin Zone was bred by George Leaguer, who is also the Pacers' owner and trainer. George has been in the hospital recently, but is on the way to recovery. So, on this night of the presentation, George was unable to make it to the track, but Slick Tony had lots of love in the winner's circle as friends and family came out, including, of course, George's wife, Nola, and son, Stephen, who I spoke with about this remarkable horse.
First of all, Stephen, are you surprised that he got horse of the meet?
Yeah, I was very surprised. Matt Sparacino called me yesterday, and it was kind of spur of the moment, and I was in the middle of feeding up at the time, and it was very exciting to hear that he had won horse of the meet.
Now, he's had a great meet, though, so that's got to be so rewarding.
Yeah, he's a tough character. I mean, he's just, when he comes to the racetrack, he puts it all out there. And if he doesn't go out there and win, you can tell he's a little upset with himself. But when he's not at the top of his game, he takes care of himself, and that's important, at keeping it going as hard and as long as he has.
He has been so special to you guys. I mean, can you put in words how great he's been for you guys?
He's just an exceptional horse. You know, he's brought a lot of joy to my father. He really appreciated that.
Let's take a look at that standout side wheeler in action right now as we watch Slick Tony in his most recent victory at Harrington Raceway.
They make their way by the quarter. Up to get the lead is Carlissimo. Back to second, Some Bad Dude Can't Beat That, now third. Quarter time was 27 1/5. Field races on the turn, and Carlissimo leads by a length and a half. Some Bad Dude got away second. Can't Beat That is next. American Animal races in fourth, getting away fifth. Bodega Bay followed by Calvin K. The trailers are Slick Tony and Just a Sec. Field makes the way over toward the half with Carlissimo having the lead. Some Bad Dude is sitting in second. Can't Beat That third. American Animal still fourth. Another 2 lanes, Bodega Bay followed by Calvin K. Continuing to trail are Slick Tony and Just a Sec. They went by the half, 56 2/5. Around the turn toward the back stretch. Carlissimo followed by Some Bad Dude. Can't Beat That is their third. They race up the back stretch. Still fourth is American Animal. Then comes Bodega Bay racing up on the outside. That's Slick Tony. Toward the rail is Calvin K. Just a Sec continues to trail 3/4 in 125 flat into the far turn. Carlissimo with Some Bad Dude racing in second on the outside. Slick Tony all the way up into third, going up after the leader now. They come over toward the top of the stretch. Carlissimo has Slick Tony on the outside. They straighten away. Carlissimo, Slick Tony along first over. They come through the stretch. Carlissimo, Slick Tony down the inside. Some Bad Dude. They drive to the wire. Slick Tony gets up. Slick Tony's in front.
In this event from October 11th, Slick Tony, bred, owned, and trained by George Leaguer, came from off the pace to win in 153-1 with Jason Lynch at the controls. It was another superb performance by the United States Harness Writers Association's Harrington Raceway 2021 Horse of the Meet. Congratulations to Slick Tony and his connections.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me this past half hour and during the Harrington Raceway 2021 meet. So before I head out, we're going to get the 411 on future harness happenings.
Dover Downs will begin their live racing schedule on Monday, November 1st with a first race post time of 4:30 p.m.
Have a wonderful week. I'll see you at the track, and God bless.
So you heard.